Hi guys, it's avillabrownie back again with another video. I know it's been a long time since I've made a video, but that's because I've been busy with schoolwork, exams and things, and I've just, finished for the summer holidays, so I thought now would be a good time to embark on this project, which people have been requesting me in my absence from YouTube, if you will. People have been requesting a tutorial on how to make the WWE HD stage that's featured in my HD stage conversion video, and so in the following few weeks I'm going to be showing you how to do that. But it's a big project, so I'm going to be splitting it into a number of videos. So this is going to be the first part, and it is the Minitrons. So to make the Minitrons, first of all, as I'm showing you here, you are going to need 3 pieces of A3 card. I use boxboard myself, but you could use any card as long as it's A3 in size. Then, in addition to that, you're going to need to print off the printout pack, which will be available to you upon request. If you are interested in making this stage, then all you need to do is give me a personal message on YouTube with your email address, and I will happily email you the printouts so you can print them off at home, so you don't have to design any printouts yourself. I will make them for you and you can have them for free. So for this, those are the only 2 actual materials you're going to need. You're not going to need anything else. Then you're going to need a pair of scissors, quite sharp preferably, a 30cm ruler or longer, doesn't have to, as long as it's at least 30cm, a pen or a pencil, whatever you can get your hands on, and a glue stick and some sticky tape. That's all there is to it. That's all you're going to need for these Minitrons. So to begin with, you're going to want to take the card, lay it landscape on the floor or the table or whatever you're doing it on. Take your ruler and you're going to measure from one of the sides. You're going to measure 21 centimeters long. And you're just going to put a little mark at 21 centimeters. So you want to do that somewhere near the top, and then you want to do it in the lower part as well. Make another mark at 21 centimeters, and then using your ruler you're going to connect the 2 markings and continue on. So you want a straight line from the top to the bottom of the card, just like that. So you've now effectively divided the card into 2 pieces. So as you can see, there's 2 halves. Now I'm just measuring them to make sure they're the same, which they are, because A3 is 42. So if you want to, guys, instead of using A3 card, you can just use 6 pieces of A4 card. So instead of 3, that's all I'm doing here. I'm basically splitting my A3 card into A4 card because it comes in A3 sheets. So if you have A4 card, just skip this part of the video, because that's all I'm essentially doing. But if you don't, once you've drawn the line, you want to repeat that on the other 2 pieces of card, and then you just want to cut along the lines, dividing them into 2, as you can see here. So as I said before, you're just going to end up with A4 pieces of card. So once you've cut all of them out, you've now got 6 A4 pieces, and you'll need 5 for this, so you can just discard one. So now you're going to want to take your printouts, okay? So for the Minitrons, we have 2 for the left side Minitrons, which are just plain with the design on, and then the right hand side is going to be made up of 3, and that's got the design along with the raw logo across, okay? These have slightly changed in design since my original video, but they're still good. Felt they're probably better, to be honest. Okay, so the next step is going to be to trim these printouts to the right size. So as I'm showing here, there's a border at the top and the bottom. You want to keep them. Don't cut them off, whatever you do, because they're essential for the later stage. But as you can see at the side, there is a bit of a border, and that's not wanted. So you're going to want to cut along the line as carefully as you can. Take as much time as you want to, and just trim them down like that until there's no border at the sides. So just repeat the step for all 5 pieces of paper until you have all of them cut and ready to go. So now you're going to go back to the card, the A4 pieces of card which you created before, and we're going to have to do some more trimming now, because as you can see, each Minitron printout, the actual design part isn't as tall as an A4 piece of card, because to get the scaling right with an elite figure we've got to trim it down even more. This video will get quite repetitive because there is a lot of cutting out, but it is how it's made, guys. Can't really do anything about that. So you're just going to want to take the ruler, and again you want to turn it landscape, and you're going to measure 21 centimeters from the end, somewhere near the top. And repeat at the bottom. And then just draw a line down the piece of card. So you'll have formed a square 21 by 21 centimeters. If you start measuring it and it's 20.9 or something, don't bother changing it. It doesn't have to be that precise unless you want it to be. You can be as precise as you want. So once you've measured them all out, just cut them all out, and you will have 6 squares of card now. So with these squares, as you can see, if you place the printout on the square, you'll see that the design part fits onto the square, and the top and bottom borders that I talked about before overhang at the top and bottom. There'll also be a slight border probably on the left and right hand sides, but don't worry about that, you can trim that off. So now what you're going to want to do is along the line where the border meets the design, you'll want to use your ruler and bend along the line, so fold along the line where the border meets the printout, creating a flap. You can flip it over and you can still see through, so depending on the thickness of your paper. Obviously if you can't see through, just do it the other way and then fold it back on itself. As you can see, fold it along the ruler, pull it nice and tight, and then use your finger to smooth it out. So you've created now a flap. So if you fold it in on itself, there's now no border. Now that's what it'll look like when it's actually fitted on, but the flap is used to fix it. So if you just repeat for both sides, like so. So now if you take one of your squares of cardboard, and you can't see this, sorry about that, but if you just place the square of cardboard into the kind of recess, if you like, in between the two flaps, you should see it fits in there, like so. You're not missing anything important because we're not fixing anything in, it's just more of a checking it fits, but it does. So now what you want to do is take the leftover piece of card that you discarded before and take your glue stick and you want to apply glue to the reverse side of the printout in between the two flaps. You don't want to put any glue on the flaps, but just on the flat bit. Try and go as close to the edges as you can around all four edges. Apply a nice generous helping of glue. Try not to get any lumps on there because that will affect the finish. So then just fill in the middle a bit. And then you're going to want to take one of the squares of card, and now this is where you actually fit it in. So just place the glued piece on the floor, and then the piece of card, and actually place it inside, making sure it doesn't overlap the flaps. It will be a tight fit, but it will fit because we've measured it all out. So then just smooth it all out, push down on it really hard, make sure it's all stuck together right along the edges. That's very important. You can use your ruler as well to help you with this. Just apply pressure along it, and you should see now that it's bonded. I'm just checking my work there, guys. Just check as you're going along that you're not making any errors. Okay, so that's what it should look like now. Should have the two flaps overhanging the edge. So now you want to fold these flaps up. This is where your sticky tape comes in handy. You just want to tape the flap down to the back of the card now. The reason we're using tape on the back and not glue stick is because it doesn't matter on the back, because the back isn't seen, so it can be a bit more untidy. On the front you don't really want pieces of tape showing, just ruins the finish really, but on the back it doesn't matter, so you may as well use tape because it's a bit more, it's quicker and it's very secure. You know that it's not going to come undone, so just apply as much tape as you want along the back there, seal it completely down if you like, but it doesn't really matter. So now that's what it should look like, and as you can see on the right hand side there is a bit of a border, but we'll just trim that off in a minute. So you just want to repeat the process with all 5 printouts and pieces and squares of card until you have 5 pieces that look like that. Okay, so now we have our 5 completed segments. We're just going to, as I said before, just trim along those borders at the right hand side. So when you make yours, when you're positioning the card in the piece of paper, if you line it up along one edge, there'll be a border on one side. If you put it in the middle, there'll be a border on either side, so it's probably handier if you just do it on one, so you only have to make one cut. But just however yours ends up looking, where the border is, just trim it off so that you've just got, from the front as you look at it, just the design. If you've got any questions at all about this, guys, please feel free to message me or leave it in the comment section. I'll try my best to answer the questions. It's quite hard with these video tutorials to get everything across, but I'll be able to answer any questions that you have. So once you've trimmed them all, you should have something that looks a bit like this. Starting to take shape now as more of a Minitron. So now we've got them, we just need to assemble them now, the final step. So those are going to fit together like that. So the way we're going to do this, we want them to be able to hinge, but we also want them to be firmly secured together. The reason for the hinge is so that they can stand up. So if you just flip them over, making sure that you have them the right way round, and then line them up as best you can. can use different things as an eye kind of guide for lining them up. Obviously the borders that are folded up and the tops and bottoms. So then you're going to want to place a piece of sticky tape right in the very middle, horizontally across the two joins. And then you're going to want to put another piece the same size right at the very top, along the very top border, not overlapping, but right at the top. And repeat at the bottom. So you're just going to want 3 pieces of tape horizontally across. Now you can have more than 3, but no less than 3. You definitely need 3 pieces at least, and don't do it horizontally, vertically up, because if you've got it all the way up, the hinge will be a bit stiffer and it probably won't work as well. So that's why I recommend 3, just one at the top, one in the middle and one at the bottom. So as you can see now, it bends, it's fixed together, and it can stand up of its own accord. You don't need any stands behind it or anything like that. So now we've done the simpler one, got the more complex one now with the raw logo on it, because you've got to make sure that the raw logo all lines up, otherwise it won't look that good. So just before you assemble them, make sure that they all do line up correctly. You're going to want to do this 2 at a time. Don't try and do all 3 at once. So just take the first 2, again line them up as best you can. Obviously it is more crucial with these ones because of the raw logo, and again just want to secure them together with 3 pieces of tape at the back. Try and be a bit neat with these pieces of tape, make them flush to the back so that there's more surface area. Contact, because this is actually a attaching mechanism rather than just securing something down. So do your 3 pieces of tape like so. So that's 2 of them. Now just for the final one. Checking that I put it on the right end, and again line them up, and tape them down. I know this isn't the most interesting of videos in terms of what's going on and the dialogue and that, but unfortunately with this stage it does just require a lot of time and effort, really, doing pretty much boring things like cutting out and sticking down, but at the end it's all worth it. So once we've fitted them together, as you can see, we now have Minitron which says raw on it. And once again stands up just by bending it like that. They're very simple, these Minitrons, they're very simple. But it's good because they stand up, so you don't have to put anything behind them to help them. So there we go, that's a shot of them standing up as they will appear on your stage. So thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope it's been helpful. As I said before, any questions you've got at all, just message me and I'll get back to you. Stay tuned for the other parts of this video. There'll be one for the Titantron, one for the LED board, one for the overhead Tron, one for the stage, and one for assembly. Okay, so stay tuned for those videos, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you.